Morning rain glazed the office windows as Amir hurried into the nearly empty building, balancing a thermos, a worn backpack, and 3 tiny lunchboxes. Being a janitor and a father of triplets meant mornings were never quiet. He whispered a quick prayer, hoping today would be kinder than yesterday for all 4 of them. His daughters, Aina, Meher, and Layla, waited in the small break room where he left them before school pickup time. Their teacher was late again, and childcare had fallen through. The girls sat drawing flowers with crayons, trusting their father's promise that work would only take a little while. Amir mopped the marble hallway outside the executive floor, careful not to disturb anyone. He respected this job more than anyone realized. It fed his daughters, paid rent, and kept hope alive. He never expected kindness from wealthy people, only distance and polite silence whenever they passed him. While collecting trash near the conference area, he heard a faint sound. It wasn't conversation or footsteps. It was quiet sobbing. The noise came from inside the CEO's private dining office. Everyone feared her strict personality, and employees rarely even knocked on that door. He hesitated, knowing he shouldn't intrude. But the crying deepened, broken and helpless. He gently tapped the door. No response came, only the soft clatter of something falling. Concern overcame fear, and he slowly opened the door just a few inches. Inside, CEO Sarah Rahman sat at her table, her untouched breakfast growing cold. Papers lay scattered, and her hands trembled as she covered her face. She looked smaller than the confident leader everyone knew. Amir froze, unsure whether to apologize or quietly leave. She quickly wiped her tears when she noticed him. Embarrassment filled her eyes, but exhaustion remained stronger. She whispered that he should pretend he saw nothing. Amir nodded respectfully and turned to go, yet something in her expression stopped his steps before he reached the doorway. He noticed a framed photograph beside her plate. 3 little boys smiled at the camera, each holding balloons. The picture was cracked. Sarah saw him glance at it and finally spoke, voice shaking. She confessed she hadn't seen her sons in over a year after a painful custody battle. At that moment, small footsteps echoed behind Amir. The triplets had wandered from the break room, searching for their father. Before he could stop them, their curious faces peeked through the open door. Sarah stiffened, surprised to see 3 little girls staring at her. Aina stepped forward first and asked softly why the lady was sad. Meher offered a crayon drawing of a son. Layla simply walked closer and placed her tiny hand on Sarah's arm. Their innocent concern filled the quiet room more loudly than any speech could. Sarah tried to smile, but tears returned. The girls spoke together in gentle voices, telling her that when their mother died, they also cried every night. They said their father always told them sadness feels smaller when someone listens. Amir stood silent, heart tightening at their honesty. The CEO listened carefully as they explained how they sometimes talked to the sky, imagining their mother heard them. Layla suggested Sarah could talk to her sons, even if they were far away. Children believed distance could never defeat love, and their certainty softened something inside her. Sarah asked how their father managed raising them alone. Meher proudly pointed to Amir and said he sang bedtime stories even when tired and never let them sleep afraid. Amir felt shy but stayed quiet. He didn't know his daughters were his greatest recommendation letter. The girls asked if Sarah had called her sons recently. She admitted she was too hurt and angry to try again. Aina shook her head seriously and said sometimes grown-ups wait for perfect words, while children only need to hear, "I miss you." Sarah stared at her phone for a long moment. Her hands trembled just as before, but now with hope rather than despair. Encouraged by 3 small smiles, she dialed a number she had avoided for months. The ringing sounded louder than thunder in the silent office. When a young voice answered, she couldn't speak immediately. Tears fell again, yet softer this time. Finally, she whispered she was sorry and she loved them. Through the speaker came excited shouting and overlapping voices calling her, "Mama!" breaking the heavy loneliness she carried for so long. Amir looked away to give privacy, but the girls hugged him tightly. He realized they had given something priceless without understanding its weight. Sarah finished the call with trembling relief, a smile replacing the grief that had filled the room earlier that morning. She thanked the children first, kneeling to their height. Then she thanked Amir for raising compassionate daughters. She admitted success meant nothing when her family was broken. Their simple kindness helped her take the first step toward healing something wealth never could repair. Before leaving, she asked about their school and living situation. Amir hesitated but answered honestly. Transportation and childcare were constant struggles, yet he never wanted pity. Sarah assured him it wasn't pity. She offered flexible hours and arranged proper schooling support for the girls. Days later, the office atmosphere changed noticeably. Sarah became kinder to staff and often shared lunch with employees. She spoke regularly with her sons, rebuilding trust slowly. Each morning, she greeted the triplets by name, always remembering the day their small voices saved her. Amir realized that morning hadn't only helped his boss. It showed his daughters how powerful empathy could be. They learned people behind titles carry invisible pain, and kindness can open locked hearts. Walking home together, the four of them felt lighter, knowing their love had changed someone's world.